The sun is getting ready to flip its magnetic poles, similar to how Earth does, but with a key difference: this flip happens more often and is much easier to predict. The sun has its own magnetic north and south, and the next flip is expected to happen this year. As dramatic as it might sound, there's no need to worry. If you're around 30, you've already lived through this event more than once. The sun flips every 11 years, and it doesn't usually have a huge impact on life here on Earth. But this time, things could be a little different. On Earth, ocean currents help regulate climate and weather by distributing heat from the equator to the poles. On the sun, though, these currents are more like an ocean of plasma, which not only moves heat but also carries electromagnetic energy. This happens because the sun is a massive ball of hot, ionized gas that keeps flowing within its core. It fuses hydrogen into helium, releasing enormous amounts of energy and causing these powerful electric currents. And where there are currents, there are magnetic fields. Think of it like that experiment you probably did in school, where you wrapped a wire around a nail and created a magnet by connecting the wire to a battery. That's sort of how it works on the sun. Those electric currents help create its magnetic field. This process is called the dynamo, and although we can't observe it directly, we can see its effects. For example, when the plasma and magnetic flows get unstable and intense, they create sunspots, those dark patches on the sun's surface. Scientists have studied these sunspots for centuries and learned that the dynamo process follows a pattern. Every 11 years or so, the sun's polar magnetic fields weaken, hit zero, and then switch polarity. They figured this out back in the 1950s, noticing that as sunspots become more frequent and intense, it signals the sun is preparing for a magnetic reversal. And in recent years, solar activity has been off the charts: more solar flares, more electromagnetic radiation bursts, and more plasma being ejected into space. Right now, scientists believe the sun's polar fields are nearly in sync and steadily weakening, moving closer to zero. But despite the idea that the sun flips every 11 years like clockwork, the process isn't always smooth. The last solar cycle is a good example. The northern hemisphere began its flip in mid-2012, but it stalled around neutral for a while, only completing the flip by late 2014. Meanwhile, the southern hemisphere had a much smoother flip in mid-2013. This time around, though, things seem to be going more smoothly. Both poles are transitioning more evenly. However, every solar cycle is different, which is why these flips are always so fascinating to observe, even if we can't predict exactly how they'll affect us on Earth. Most of the intense solar explosions happening 93 million miles away won't cause us any harm here, but if a solar storm does hit Earth, it could potentially disrupt communication satellites in space. This time, though, we have more satellites than ever. For example, Elon Musk's Starlink alone has over 4,000 satellites in orbit. So, a powerful solar storm could seriously damage or even destroy them, along with GPS and other communication satellites. Although the chances of a major solar storm are low, it's not impossible. Back in 1859, during the Carrington Event, a solar storm caused telegraph lines to overload, sparking fires and disrupting communications worldwide. If a similar storm hit today, it could cause an internet apocalypse, with satellites knocked offline, businesses disrupted, and communication systems down. It's estimated that damages in the United States alone could reach between $0.6 to $2.6 trillion if an event like that happened now. But it's not all bad news. A strong solar storm also brings more opportunities to see the aurora borealis, those beautiful northern lights. During the Carrington Event, the auroras were visible as far south as Cuba and Hawaii. The southern hemisphere got its own light show, with the southern lights visible as far north as Santiago, Chile. For many, it was their first time seeing the auroras, and some even thought the world was ending. People woke up early, thinking it was sunrise, with birds chirping in the bright sky. Today, we know that auroras appearing at lower latitudes is a common effect of the sun's magnetic pole reversal. Typically, auroras are seen between 60 degrees and 75 degrees latitude, but during the last solar reversal in 2013, they appeared below 50 degrees, and some witnesses described the lights as a deep crimson red, bright enough to read a newspaper by. So, studying this phenomenon is important, not just for understanding the sun, but also for protecting our technology. As we continue to explore space and rely more on satellites, we need to be able to predict solar storms and their impact. Scientists are still working on understanding why some solar cycles are more intense than others, and exactly when large events, like coronal mass ejections, will happen. Better predictions would make space travel safer, especially as we plan future missions to the Moon and Mars. And learning more about the sun's pole reversals can even help us understand other stars in the universe. It might just bring us one step closer to answering the big question, why are we here? End conclusion, the sun's upcoming magnetic pole flip, while a natural part of its cycle, presents an intriguing mix of opportunities and challenges for us here on Earth. While we can expect some disruptions to our technology, the potential for breathtaking auroras and deeper understanding of solar dynamics keeps the excitement alive. As scientists continue to unravel the complexities of the sun, we gain not only insights into our closest star but also valuable knowledge that can help protect our technology and prepare for future space explorations. So, as we anticipate this solar event, let's embrace both the beauty and mystery of our universe. If you found this journey fascinating, be sure to give us a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Your support helps us bring you more engaging content. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for the latest updates on space and science. Join us as we continue to explore the wonders of the cosmos together. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.